Namaste everyone. Welcome back to the class. Chapter 1 Integers, Part 3 video. The multiplication of integers. As we seen in the earlier, the properties of integers. That is now we are going with the multiplication of integers. The first one, the multiplication of a positive and a negative integer. So now, what is saying that the positive and the negative integers. Let us see the first one, the positive integers. What it says that when a both positive as well as negative integer, so I will write here the statement when multiplying a positive and negative integer, when we multiply a positive and negative integer, we multiply them as a whole numbers. We multiply them as a whole numbers and put a minus sign. Okay, this statement is given in the textbook also, NCERT textbook, before the product. So we can say that in a generally we get a negative integer. Okay, we get a negative integer. Okay, now I will write the general form here. That is general form a into minus b is equal to minus a into b is equal to minus of a into b. Okay, this is the general form. Okay, children, right. The moving to the next, that is multiplication of two negative integers. Okay, multiplication of two negative integers. Okay, now in these two negative integers we can say that when we multiply the value, that is two integers, we multiply two integers that is negative integers, we get whole we get whole numbers and and they put the positive sign before the product, and they put the positive sign and positive sign before the product. Okay, like example minus 3 into 3 is equal to minus 9. So that means minus 3 into 3 is nothing but when we multiply it get minus 9. If same way, if we take the two integers, that is minus 12 minus of minus 3, in this form also we can write it. So in generally, again in the general form, okay, in general form we can say that minus a into minus b is equal to a into b. So this is the general form of a multiplication of two negative integers. Okay. Now next, the third property which we are learning, that is the product of three or more integers. Okay, three or more negative integers with the properties. That is the first one, that is closure under multiplication. Closure under the multiplication. Okay, so now closure under multiplication, what we'll see here, same way but different general form is the product of again two integers, the product of two integers which is again an integer, again an integer. Okay, so again here general form again. What is the general form of this? That is A into B. The A into B is nothing but it's an integer. It is an integer. Okay, children, it is an integer. And remember that it is for all. It is for all integers, that is A and B. A and B. Okay. Next, fourth one, commutative commutativity of multiplication. Commutativity of multiplication. Okay. Now, here in the commutative property, what we are seeing here, it's nothing but it changes the order. Okay. Here the changes the order. I will write here changing the order, changing the order of the numbers, changing the order of the numbers, it does not change the result. It does not change the result. And the general form is A into B is equal to B into A. Then the fifth property, that is multiplication by 0. Multiplication by 0. Okay, multiplication. Here in the multiplication by 0, it's very simple. That is A into 0 is equal to 0 into A. That means any integer which is multiplied by 0 is 0 itself. Okay, this is very easy. Okay, children. The next one, sixth, multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity. Okay. Now, here in the multiplicative identity, any integer which is multiplied by 1 itself, 1 into integer, that it becomes the multiple value. That is A into 1 is equal to 1 into A, which is equal to A. Okay. The next one, the next property, associative for multiplication. Okay, associative for multiplication. Here in the multiplication, remember that when any number, that is when any integer multiplying 3 or more numbers, when multiplying 3 or more numbers, whichever the way you group them, whichever the way you group them, it does not change the result, does not change the result. And the general form of this associative property for the multiplication is, okay, that is A into B. So I have taken three integers A into B and I made the group here A into B into C. A, B, C are the three integers and I made first group here A into B, which is same, and the same value of, sorry, same integers of A into B into C. Okay, children. So this is the next general form of an associative property. Clear? Next is distributive property. Next we will see about the distributive property. That is distributive property. Here in the distributive property, same again three integers are there, which is they multiply the number. I will write here, multiply the number outside the bracket. They multiply the number outside the bracket with with each term inside the bracket, which each term inside the bracket, then add the results, then add the results. So here also three integers, we have taken the general form of that, a into b plus, here it is a plus, we are adding plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c. So this is the general form again. So this is the distributive property. So in a simple way, A is multiplied by B plus A is multiplied by C. So it's a simple one. Okay, children. So I hope you understood with this property. And let us see with the next solve some problems in the next topic. Thank you.